Welcome back to the studio. You're watching live from Paris, and Olivia Salazar-Winspear is with me in the studio now for tonight's Media Watch. Hi. Good evening to you, Olivia. We're starting off with the first Olympic Games to be relayed by social media, London 2012.
Well, that's what they're touting it as. They're touting it as this is the year that we have social media Olympic Games. But Mashable, the internet website where they talk about internet news, has a lovely graphic here taking us through how we, the global audience, consume the Olympic Games. We've got the first 1890s, you've got it in print, you've got the first broadcast on television from Tokyo in 1964, and they call 2012 in London the Social Media Olympics, which, you know, sounds interesting. We'll be keeping up with what's going on in the stadium via our smartphones and our computers. But if you have got a ticket to the games this summer, which I haven't, sadly.
No, neither did I. I put in to get one, but
no, they're very hard to come by. Don't go charging up your smartphone, because the rules around posting photos or information online are very, very strict.
But how can they possibly control that?
Well, this is the big question. There's a lot of legislation around this. There's a huge dossier explaining exactly how the law works. And the terms and conditions, which I looked up on the back of your ticket here, if you have one, the terms and conditions are really, really, really long. And they point out that it's written, and if I just quote it for you, any activity related to marketing or advertising, unauthorised transmissions or recording through mobile telephones or other instruments like cameras or tape recorders comes under forbidden behaviour. So it's against the rules of your ticket. Now, this is quite vague because you can take a camera into the stadium with you. I mean, that's not illegal. So then what they've done is, for people who are looking to live blog or tweet from the events, they've made a PDF guide, the International Olympic Committee, a PDF guide here that they've presented for people saying how to tweet correctly and legally from the Olympics. It's
how handy.
Funny.
It's very considerate of them to put together a document.
I mean, for journalists specifically, they say if you're going to live tweet an event, you have to tweet in the first person, present it as your subjective experience, and not take an authoritative journalistic tone.
Now, is someone going to be watching across all those tweets that are being made?
That's what everyone's saying. You know, the brands, the sponsors, they're going to be watching. They don't want somebody else's drink or somebody else's sportswear cropping up on Facebook or on YouTube more than their one, because they've paid, you know, millions to be part of this. Here we can see Adidas as an official sponsor, and The Guardian goes through the legal ramifications of it all. Le Figaro, of course, comes out and says maybe they're a little bit sour grapes at not getting the Olympics themselves.
I cannot imagine that being possible.
They say they can't. This is impossible. This is an impossible challenge. They can never police this. But even the athletes won't be allowed to tweet or post videos about their, you know, the Olympic Village and getting ready and their nerves.
That seems a little bit of a shame, doesn't it? Really, these new media Olympics, but not really allowed to tweet. All right, we're going to move on now, Olivia, to a fight in the Ukraine Parliament. There's been a big bust-up, not a street fight, but fists were flying in the actual parliamentary chamber. Why?
Something of a brawl in the Ukrainian Parliament. Now, I couldn't stop laughing. I had to watch this 3 times online when I found it, because it really is very funny. I mean, they're really going for it. Now,
not that we condone violence.
No, we don't condone violence.
These are extraordinary pictures.
It's comedy violence. They're all in suits. They're not really doing any damage. This happened when the pro-Western opposition party and the pro-government, Viktor Yanukovych loyal deputies, were having a debate over a bill that would see Russian introduced and more formalised.
I think he's actually getting, blows there on the man's back and ripping the shirt.
So that, the bill is about whether Russian could become more and more of a second language in Ukraine. And obviously the pro-Western opposition are not happy about this.
Well,
they don't
clearly not very happy at all.
They don't want to go back to their Soviet past. And Viktor Yanukovych's allies are saying, well, why not? What's so wrong with Russian? And they obviously couldn't agree to disagree.
It's clearly an extremely divisive issue there, I think we can say. Thanks very much indeed, Olivia Salazar-Winspear there with tonight's Media Watch. Stay tuned to France 24. We're going to bring you the latest international news that's coming up at the top of the hour.
The Cannes Film Festival. Until May 27th, here on France 24.